pretty much everyone has heard the term enlightenment. But that term enlightenment comes from ancient Indian teachings in which we find the terms nirvana and nibbana. Nirvana is associated with Hinduism, Jainism, and Buddhism, and other ancient yogis talked about nirvana. And that word actually has to do with a type of extinction or literally blowing out. It is associated with the act of blowing out. Blowing out what? A flame. Blowing out, putting out the fire of what? Desire, raga, an ancient Sanskrit term. Passion, desire. When we are angry, when we are full of desires, we are like a flame. And when you blow out a flame, there's a little bit of smoke, and then there's nothing but coolness and the absence of any scent, any fragrance. And that is analogous to contentment or equanimity. So the wise being known as Buddha, he utilized those concepts and he put his signature upon the teachings of nirvana and refined it in many ways. I'm not going to talk about that in 3 minutes. It's actually been a minute and a half. So I want to keep this video short and point out that when you hear about the term enlightenment regarding Buddhism, Hinduism, and Jainism, etc., they're not talking about enlightenment in the European sense associated with the Enlightenment era, in which there was a renaissance and an increase that at that time was unprecedented in learning due to discovering human ignorance, discovering the great ignorance among humanity that Yuval Noah Harari pointed out in his book Sapiens. About 500 years ago, that's when human beings became, particularly certain individuals, very keenly aware of ignorance and how to eradicate it. And that's what they've done, and it gave us the modern world and technology in a nutshell. So now I'm giving you 2 for 1 in this video, a history of the Enlightenment era and the history of enlightenment, the concept which comes from ancient India, which is rooted in the terms nirvana, Sanskrit, nibbana, and Pali. And I didn't mention yet bodhi, which means awakening. In Buddhism, you see the term bodhi more than nibbana and nirvana in all the Buddhist texts, because that's an important term, because awakenings lead up to a grand awakening and then one becoming awakened, thus Buddha, the awakened one.